Hey guys, it's Brittany with Homegrown Real Estate, and I'm sitting outside today on our patio enjoying the lovely weather and bringing you the monthly market update for May 2024. Summertime is prime buying and selling time for real estate, so stay tuned and I'll let you know if the numbers are here to support a strong growing market or if we are seeing surprising numbers that don't support the normal seasonal trends. Focusing on a high-level market overview, in the month of May there was around 2 to 2.5 months of supply for the Tri-County area. The range increased slightly from last month's data, and this is not surprising. Remember, month supply is how long it would take all houses currently on the market to sell. With summertime approaching, overall listings increased, bumping up the months of supply. And in my opinion, it's just a sign of normal seasonal fluctuations. It also supports that we are still in a very solid seller's market. We can't consider the market balanced until that range increases to 4 to 6 months of supply. And buyers, I hate to tell you this, but we are still a long way from a buyer's market, which would be where the months of supply would be greater than 6 months. All of this is a result of continued low inventory levels, and even though it seems like building is happening all over, the months of supply is not expected to change much in the near future. The average home price for the greater Summerville area was $423,000, which was a slight increase from last month. Remember, last month we saw an increase in average home prices for both Charleston and Berkeley counties, but the increase was unusually large for Charleston County. I expected a possible correction this month, which we did see with Charleston County's average home price decreasing to $930,000, but that's still well above what it was a couple months ago, which was closer to $800,000. So the home prices in Charleston County remained high, and the correction was not as much as I anticipated. Berkeley County continued to increase, and average home prices there are now around $532,000. Again, these numbers support a strong housing market where home prices are not decreasing over time, but still increasing. The list to sell price ratio remains high across all areas. This statistic indicates the percentage of the list price that a home sells for. In all Tri-County areas, including Summerville, this number has remained in the 96th percentile to the 98th percentile. Specifically, Dorchester County was at the low end of the range at 96.3%, and Berkeley County at the high end at 98.6%. The other counties and areas were somewhere in between these values. For example, breaking down the math, if you are purchasing a home that is listed for $500,000, you can expect to pay somewhere between $481,000 and $493,000. In a nutshell, because it's still a seller's market, if you are purchasing a home, you can still expect to pay close to list price. Days on market tells us how long it takes properties to sell. On average, in May, it took 40 days in the greater Summerville area for a home to go under contract. This was a slight decrease from 43 days in April. Berkeley County's days on market average took a slightly more significant drop from 42 days last month to 37 days this month. And while Charleston County had the lowest days on market at 30 days, it was unchanged since last month. These statistics are just further evidence that the market in the Charleston area is still very strong with a high level of demand. Interest rates averaged last month between 6.5% and 7.4%, which is very consistent with last month's rate. Now, our mortgage lender partners do not always like us talking about interest rates because they are so variable and depend on so many different factors. However, we know this is important to consumers. Now, just remember to take these numbers with a grain of salt because your exact rate will depend on the type of loan, the terms and conditions of that loan, incentives or buy-down options provided by the seller, as well as your individual qualifications as a borrower, such as credit score and debt-to-income ratio. So, what does all this mean? If you've been waiting to buy a house in hopes that interest rates and/or the housing market goes down, you are missing out. I completely expected a larger correction this month on the huge increase in the average home sale price in Charleston County that occurred last month. And while that correction did occur, it was minimal. Home prices are still up when you compare year-to-year statistics, and we don't expect that to change in the near future. The market in our area has continued to show strong growth and stability in prices. Waiting to buy is not only costing you money on the purchase price, but also an equity that you could be earning. If you've been considering purchasing for a while, but have been watching or waiting, I encourage you just to reach out to us or one of our trusted mortgage lenders, and together we can run different scenarios and really take a deep dive into figuring out if now is a good time for you to buy. The real estate market is typically unpredictable, and while the numbers lately have been pretty consistent with few surprises, that could change at any time. That's why it's important to tune in next month to keep tabs on how things are going. And as always, our commitment is to provide you with honest insights so you can confidently make decisions aligned with your specific needs. If you're interested, simply shoot us a text or email to the contact info below and we'll arrange it. Otherwise, feel free to explore other content and I'll return next month with an updated report.